that we need to follow and understand what does it say. The note says correct to 1 decimal places, meaning that when you solve this quadratic equation, you can apply the usage of factorization. Factorization will never help you in this regard, meaning that for you to solve for x in this regard, you must apply the usage of quadratic formula. Then the first step that we need to undertake is to make sure that we have a standard form of ax squared, standard form of ax squared plus bx plus c, that is equal to 0. Now, we see here that the term with the square is on the right hand side of the equation. Then we need to transpose it to the left hand side, because we see that on the standard form, every term is on the left hand side. Then this term with the square, it must be transposed to the left hand side. Now, it has a negative sign. When we transpose it to this side, the sign needs to change. We can't carry the same sign because we have what? Transposed. Then now, because we have transposed, it becomes positive 2x squared. Now, the second term, it must be the term with an x. And now, already on the left-hand side of the equation, we had terms. The only term that we took to the left to join all these terms is only this term. Now, this term, we did not transpose them. Then, the sign for this 5x, it remains unchanged because it was already on this side. Now, it becomes a positive 5x. Then it says plus c. The c is a constant. It's a number without an x. In this case, it becomes a plus. It becomes a plus 1. Now, on the right hand side, we are left with nothing. We are left with the 0. Now, 1 mark will be awarded for writing this equation in the standard form. Sorry for that. Let me erase what I have here. This is what we have as our standard form. 2x squared plus 5x plus 1, that is equal to 0. Now we must apply the quadratic formula. We have to write the quadratic formula, which says x is equal to negative b plus n minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Then everything here all divide by 2a. Then x will be equal to, remember this negative that we have here, it's a negative that came with this quadratic formula. This negative is not negative for the b. It's a negative that came with the formula. Then we put it down here. Then remember, the value of b, we come here to this quadratic equation. We check the coefficient of x. We go to an x term. Here is our x term. We check the number before an x. In this case, the number before an x and its sign is a positive 5. Then in this case, the value of b becomes a positive 5. Plus and minus the square root. It says the value of b written outside. Here is the value of b. We write that value of b again. Now, since now we are going to substitute the value of b into this root, we need to introduce bracket. Then the value of b that we have is positive 5. Why do we introduce brackets? Because bracket, why? Because we have a square outside. Then at the end, we need to introduce a square. Sorry for that. Let us make sure that we have a correct square there. We have a square. Minus 4, open bracket. Then the value of a, we come here, we check here. The value of a is a number, it's a coefficient of x squared term. Then we have a x squared term here. The value of a in this regard will be positive 2. Close bracket. Let us expand our square root here so that we are able to fit everything. Open bracket. Then the value of c is the number that we have here without an x. We have an x squared here, we have an x. Therefore, the number without an x, it becomes now the value of c. In this case, is positive 1. Then everything all divide by 2 into the value of a. In this case, the value of a that we have here is positive 2. Close bracket. Sorry for that. We need to make sure that everything is on point. Everything, it is clear for all learners. Now we must go down so that we are able to get those values of x. Then x, it will be equal to the first value, or x, it will be equal to. Now we are going to apply our calculators. Negative 5 plus square root, open bracket, 5 all squared, minus 4, open bracket, 2, close bracket, open bracket, 1. Then everything here multiply by 2. Then we have, remember it said to 1 decimal places at the top here. It says the solutions of x, we must round them off to 1 decimal place, meaning that we only want to see one number after a comma. One number after a comma. Then what do I have here? I have negative 0, comma. Then we have 219. Then it becomes negative 0, comma 2. That is the first solution of x. We go back where we see a plus, we put a minus. Then what is the second solution of x? We have negative 2. That is equal negative 2, comma. It says 2, 8. Then the third digit is an 8. That 8, it add a 1 to the second digit. It becomes negative 2, comma 3. 1 mark for the standard form, 1 mark for correct substitution, and 1 mark, let us see the mark allocation from the top there. It's 4 marks there. Then 1 mark for the first value of x, and 1 mark for the second value of what? Of x. That is that about 1.1.2. Now we'll continue with this video or this lesson so that we don't take much time. Already the video took 16 minutes for now. Then we are going to not pause the video in a way, but end our lesson here. Then we'll continue with other aspect of this question in the next video. Thank you so much.